So one story I'm still kind of confused on. It came up over the years. Uh, I'm thinking it was the end of '89. Dad was with the Great Muda. Um, was it in
It,
Philadelphia?
Baltimore.
It was Baltimore.
It didn't
Sorry.
happen with Muda.
Okay, so I'm just gonna set it up real quick.
Please do.
There,
It was been October, November, somewhere in there.
okay, a a lady was suing Dad, or
I
was
remember her name. I won't say it.
was gonna sue Dad.
Was suing.
Was suing Dad because she claimed that Dad used to carry a little hand towel to the ring. I noticed. I'm not sure where that started. Like he started that in
I
'89.
mean, he had done that before. I mean, that started with Uncle Mark to put it over his face to
Right. Oh,
calm
that's
him.
true. That's right. Yeah, he did it before. Okay. So,
My uncle may
anyways,
suffer from primary and secondary narcissistic rage and have severe bouts of bipolarism, but other than that, he is a very gentle person.
so this lady claimed, and in my mind, I always pictured it was Dad either coming toward the ring or leaving the ring. But anyways, the lady claimed that Dad like took the hand towel and like popped her on the head, and she had whiplash or something like that. I don't know. So
Mm-hmm.
I forget the details, but what say you?
The main detail is this was in September, October, because we used to run Baltimore, WCW, every month. That was the one town that they could not kill. All they have to do was set up a ring and you would draw a crowd there. And this is still right in the middle. This is right before we get to the I Quit match with Terry and Ricky. And I mean, this is a pretty violent program. We got Sting and
Which
Muda.
the I Quit match? I noticed that WCW. I think it's the WWF's YouTube channel, WWE's YouTube channel, put that up today. And man, Hawk of the Road Warriors was freaking huge that night.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it
anyways,
was
go
taking
ahead.
a nap at noon. I mean, it was a violent program. I mean, you have Kenji and Sting with the green mist and the colorful face paint. You have Dad, as Dad said, you have me, Terry, and Ricky out there cutting our heads and hitting each other with branding irons and chairs.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty violent program. And the fans back then, particularly with Dad, and I mean, Terry Funk gets enough heat by himself.
Yeah.
Dad gets enough heat by himself.
Yeah.
You put them out there together. I mean,
Yeah.
I had one time told Dad in '89 because they were throwing stuff at him and Terry. I said, this is the one time where stuff's being thrown at you, and I'm not sure if it's meant for you. So if something hits Dad, it's like, sorry, Mr. Hart, that wasn't meant for you. The next one, okay, that was meant for you.
Yeah.
And they're walking down the aisle. And earlier in the evening, this was September, October in '89 before the I Quit match. Earlier in the evening, the Baltimore police had removed this lady and several others from the arena for acting a fool. I don't know if it was during the Freebirds match, if it was during the Midnight Expresses match, if it was during the Road Warriors, who it was, but they had removed these people from the building.
Okay.
The Civic Center event staff in Baltimore at the arena had let them back in. Then, when Ricky and Terry are out there working, this lady and this other guy, they decide they want to get involved in the match. They tried to jump the railing. Because remember in Baltimore, they'd have the railing up like this. Dad, I think, might have grazed her with a towel, trying to shoo her away.
He may have grazed her with a towel.
The other guy, Dad did hit.
Right.
And that guy ended up dropping the suit for 2 free tickets to the matches. Okay. The other lady, she wanted to sue. And that was pretty much the entire reason Dad left WCW. Well, there was a lot of reasons Dad left WCW. Muda doing whatever he could to try to kill his gimmick. The Office trying to kill his gimmick. Never being home, spending all your money. And now you have this promotion with this guy who's not even a promoter. He was put in charge of something that he had no business dealing with. Saying, well, I exposed the wrestling business in this article right here saying it's not real. Why can't you go in front of a court of law and just put your hand on the Bible and say that wrestling's fake? Dad was like, I'm not a phony. I never have been. Wrestling's not fake. It's manipulated. That's the way he looked at it. So instead of, just giving the lady 2 free tickets to the matches or having her go to dinner one night with Ricky Flair, they decided that they were going to, try to fight this thing in court. But the Office was not going to offer Dad any legal help or legal assistance. Dad was making a lot of money. I said, Dad, why don't you just go ahead and pay off this lawsuit? Because it'll just go away. And I saw what Dad made back then. I'm not going to say what he made, but I saw the checks. I know what he made. I said, I was a 12-year-old kid. I'm like, Dad, you can pay this off pretty quick. And Dad looked at me and goes, I didn't do anything wrong. And WCW Universal Wrestling Holdings, Jim Herd, whatever they were called, were like, well, I exposed the wrestling business, so I can just go ahead and just. It's like, no, that ain't the way this is working. So Dad just basically refused. You know what? Who cares about Gary Hart? I mean, it could have been Dad, it could have been Terry Funk, it could have been Ole Anderson. But back in 1989, you did not say that this was not real. So you're in a rock and a hard place. Your credibility is on the line because you could go to prison. Because I said, Dad, they want you to. That's the first time I ever heard the term perjury. Because as a 12-year-old kid, you're seeing that your father's being threatened with a lawsuit. You know he's gonna. And the reason why he no-showed the last 4 dates of 1989 is because upon going to Baltimore, because that was like the December 28th or 29th that year, he didn't go because they were going to arrest him. Because and that used to happen to guys. I mean, it's a hotel, getting off the plane, he's gonna be at the matches. We know where he is. They were going to arrest him, and Dad said,
For hitting the lady, or
yes, it was an assault charge by this point, and contempt of court.
Okay.
And he just looked at the TBS's lawyers came in. They sent a lawyer up to talk with him, and he had learned the phrase "nola contenda," which means
That came out wrong. I was like, for hitting the lady?
Yeah, and Dad.
I meant like, yeah, I didn't know.
And Dad yelled at the guy, "Nola contenda, you blankety blank."
Yeah.
And Jim Hurt said, "Well, I exposed the business. Why can't you?" Dad goes, "Well, you're not me." And so it was just that. So you have a lawsuit. And I said, "Dad, well, what happens? They want you to go to court?" He goes, "Yeah, they want me to go to court." I said, "And say what?" He goes, "And put my hand on the Bible and, say that wrestling's real, that it's a shoot." I went, he goes, "I can't." I said, "What happens if you do?" He goes, "Then I can go to prison." He goes, "I'm not doing this." I mean, between Muda and his shenanigans in the office, and then threatened with a prison term for perjury and having to squeal on the business. I mean, yeah. And now, had it been Jim Crockett in charge, he'd have paid off the lawsuit and said, "Gary, just watch it." But I mean, hitting somebody, the guy he did hit, dropped the suit for 2 free tickets to the matches. The lady he didn't hit, maybe grazed with a towel. Dad has, to this day, 35 years later, I have no idea what happened with the lawsuit, and I could care less. They probably ended up paying her, a pretty good amount of money because, that's just the way they were. But that's the way that ended. But I remember a Hump. My mom said, Humper, and she goes, "Hump, what does these lawsuits mean?"
Sure,
yeah, and Hump said, "Don't worry, Twinks, I've had a million of them."